For your Caesar, Cardiff City ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar, Cardiff City get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff boy, swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. She want a diff boy, swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. For your Caesar, grab a little something for your Caesar. We the geezers, swagger stone cold like freezers. She want a diff boy, she want Starvz, not Fitzroy. She want a diff boy, she want Starvz, not Fitzroy. She want a big man, says she want a man from...
Yes guys, I'm Si, welcome to Cardiff City World, welcome back to the channel. This is your Carabao Cup preview between Cardiff City and Swindon Town. This Tuesday we are going to take a deep dive into the formations, the rotations, the XG, the aerial duels, the pressing, the tactical battles, and how Ian Holloway's 3-5-2 changes the picture. But let's get into it, let's discuss it all. As Swindon's campaign started with a frustrating 2-1 defeat at Walsall. So they dominated possession, 73%, 16 shots on target, or 16 shots towards Walsall's 6, only to then lose in stoppage time. They followed that with a really spirited 3-2 victory over Cambridge United, and that 3-5-2 was vital in that performance, with defensive stability and much better attacking balance. So Cardiff's first week in League One was a tale of two performances. A high energy, high pressing victory over Peterborough was followed by a compact but drab and uninspiring 0-0 draw at Port Vale. And here's a bit of a nugget for you. Swindon and Cardiff have not faced off for nearly a decade. So this could be interesting. How will it go? Well, Swindon's season so far, injuries. Let's have a look at some of the potential rotations. 2 games in, Swindon sit mid-table. You know, table doesn't really matter at the moment, does it? 1 league, 1 win, 1 loss. They've scored 4, conceded 4. Pretty middling, yeah? The Walsall defeat did highlight some issues in converting their possessional dominance into goals. But the Cambridge victory also showed that they have a togetherness and that they can score goals because they do create chances. Their injuries are pretty minimal, but Carabao Cup, early rounds, we know this brings fixtures, rotation and stuff like that. They haven't got an under-21s team, so they have their squad and then they have the under-18s for sort of bench cover, late game impact. I'd expect Ian Holloway to keep mostly a senior core intact for this, maybe rotate a couple of the subs and stuff, but possibly maybe 1 or 2 youngsters on the bench, but who knows? It's a difficult one to predict. I will try to predict it, but as we always say, it is a guess. So, you know, from that Cambridge lineup, taking a bit of rotation into account, I guess I'd go probably Riley in goal, back 3 of Wilson, Brown, Clark and Wright. Then I think you'll have wing backs Monroe and Snowden, and then central midfield will be Kilkenny and Odika, with Nichols being a real key man, and then Smith and Durinian, I think it is pronounced, they will make up the striking partnership. In terms of Swindon's tactical approach, Ian Holloway's 3-5-2, it gives them a real compactness out of possession. Makes it into a 5-3-2, makes them difficult to exploit, especially through the middle. And that flexibility in attack will give them something. The wing-backs will push high then to produce the width, stretch the opposition backline, and they will try to create overloads in those wide areas, in the half spaces, to get at Cardiff in the transition. Nichols will find those pockets, he'll link the play, Drinian will stay a bit higher, occupy the centre-backs. It's going to be an interesting one, I've got to say, because in possession, they like to funnel the play through the midfield before switching it out wide. This forces their opposition into defensive shape and to shift, constantly moving side to side. This can then create overloads for Swindon Town. Defensively, they will sit back out of possession, back 5, just make themselves compact, and then under that sustained pressure, they're quite comfortable with that. and then they will try to get you on transition. But centrally, they'll be really tough to break down. Cardiff, Brian Barry Murphy, much like the other week, has got choices. Matt Turner, does he get a nod to come back in goal, or does he keep Nathan Trott in there to get him used to playing with the back four? Could David Turnbull, Jesper Darland, Callum Robinson or Eli King come in? And then that's before you even really get to the youngsters. You've got Will Spears. Luke Pearce has been on fire in the 21s. Louis Giles, Troy Perrott maybe. Could these guys get some first team minutes? It's going to be a decision for Brian Barry Murphy. He's going to want to probably rest a couple of regulars. But equally, he's wanting to keep the intensity. And maybe this team, following Port Vale, maybe he'll feel that the first 11, they need more time together to play the way he wants to play. I think it'll be a bit of a mix. So this is, of course, predicted 11. It's what I think the manager will do. I think he brings Turner back in goal because he was a bit unlucky to be rotated out. I think Will Spears gives Kip Pacquiao a break. I think Darland and Fish come in to be the centre-back pairing. And then I think Louis Giles will come in to give Joel Bagan a break at left-back. Possibly Mafiko goes in there, depending on what's happening with Louis Giles and regarding loans and stuff like that. I think the midfield, Eli King will come in for Ryan Wintle. I think David Turnbull will come in for Joel Colwell, but to try and give Cardiff some control in possession, and these guys need minutes. I think this is one where Ruben might be on the bench. I think he sits it out, and then it becomes a decision. Who's going to take that role of Ruben's? If it's more of an out-and-out 10, you could give it to Keane Ashford. If it's an attacking 8, does Joel Colwell take over, or does Alex Robertson? If he's had his stitches out, he could come in there too. I think we see Isaac Davis on the left wing. I think we see Nayaka Howard on the right wing, and Callum Robinson through the middle, giving the likes of Tanner, Salic and co a bit of a break. I expect to see him on the bench though. In terms of Cardiff's tactical plan, I think Cardiff will be looking to stretch Swindon's back five as much as possible. They will be looking to move them from side to side, keeping their wingers high, forcing the wing backs deep and isolating the centre halves in the little channels and half spaces. Ashford or Joel Colwell, if they're in that sort of number 10 area, they will be looking to exploit the space between the back five and the two holding midfielders. It will be difficult, which is why I think David Turnbull could have a real big role to play here with his passing ability. And of course, you'll be looking for the likes of Ashford and Joel Colwell. We'll be looking to get Isaac Davis, Callum Robinson, Nayaka Howard in behind those wing backs, in behind the centre backs and in the channels, using their pace. It's a real pacey front three actually. One of the things that Brian Barry Murphy flagged up from the Port Vale game was the build-up play not being good enough, not being patient enough, and also the wingers' positioning was not high, not wide enough. Smaller pitch, of course, but he wants to make that pitch as big as possible. So I'd expect a much more quicker moving of the ball, urgent tempo in the build-up. Not urgent like panicking. I just expect us to take less touches and move the ball quicker. And then when we do switch it, I expect the wingers to be super, super high. So it'll be... Brian Barry Murphy's got some decisions to make, you know. So we shall see what he goes with. But I definitely expect Cardiff to be a little bit quicker in their space. Next up, we've got a bit of a stats dive. So Cardiff's XG versus Port Vale. Cardiff's was 0.51 to Port Vale's 0.6. Oh, neither side carved out huge high quality chances. Cardiff had a couple half chances, but nothing high quality. In terms of the aerial duels, this was the big concern. Cardiff won just 42% of their aerial duels versus Port Vale. That must improve. And with Smith and Drinian, they will have those challenges. They will have to deal with aerial balls. So Fish, Darland, or whoever else it may be, Chambers, etc., they've got to do better. The pressing, the shape was fine, but there was a lack of urgency, lack of aggression. And against Swindon's midfield three, Cardiff need to engage higher, quicker, and put Swindon under pressure, force them to make mistakes. The danger men, I've mentioned them already. Tom Nichols for Swindon, most important of the centre midfield three for me. Really intelligent, links the play together, and is a genuine bit of quality in that team. He's all over the pitch, he'll drift, and he's a threat, particularly in a transition. If they can get him on the ball, facing up our defence with runners off him, that is when they could be really dangerous against us. He scored against Cambridge in the win, and he is one who seems to really thrive in that 3-5-2. In terms of Cardiff, there's a couple you could go for. Isaac Davis for his pace, Nakahara. I've gone for David Turnbull. I think Cardiff need a bit of control in possession, someone to pull the strings and dictate it a little bit on the ball. He can be a creative heartbeat for Cardiff City, but he's got to start showing it. He's got to start taking games by the scruff of the neck. It's clear he's got technical ability, but we haven't seen him really control games, and this is a game that Cardiff and he should absolutely be controlling. He is able to split lines and dictate tempo. His vision against a low 5 block of Swindon could be really, really important. So it's time for David Turnbull to step up. He had his little disciplinary issue. He had a little cameo against Port Vale where he thought he did okay, but now it's time for him to step up. No longer can it just be, yeah, he's technically very good. He's got to step up. In terms of my score prediction, I'm going 2-1 to Cardiff. I think Swindon's shape will make this a very tricky tie. But I'm hoping that the pace of Isaac Davis, Callum Robinson and Nakahara, and the quality that we possess in possession will be enough to break Swindon down. I do believe that we need to move the ball quickly and utilise those pacey forwards. But what do you guys think? What would your 11 be? I know that a lot of you guys were keen to get some of the young guys like Manny Barton and people involved in the cup games. But after the Port Vale game and seeing how we did struggle physically, are you a little bit more wary of giving some of those younger lads a go in the cup? It doesn't really matter, but it would be nice to get through a few rounds. Let me know in the comments. Who would you bring in? Who would you rotate? Would you keep the side strong to try and build momentum? They're still learning the manager's way of playing, so maybe the strongest 11's the best 11. It's interesting, for sure. There's decisions to be made. I think Matt Turner deserves a go for me. I thought he was really unfortunate to get dropped. Nathan Trott, his distribution worried me a little bit, but overall I thought he was very good. That was your tactical preview. We've talked the shapes, we've talked the stats, the selection dilemmas, the key threats from both sides. Let me know your score predictions in the comments. Let me know the changes you make. Would you rotate heavily? Would you go strong? And make sure, of course, you are subscribed to Cardiff City World. Click the bell for notifications so you never miss a thing. 7 days worth of content. Cardiff City all the time. The lunchtime videos are back. Obviously, this is one of them. We've got all sorts of stuff coming. We've got the preview, the spotlight. We've got the preview of the weekend game. We've got all sorts of stuff. Bit of nostalgia coming as well. We have got so much stuff. And if you haven't already, check out my 2-part interview with Omar Risa. Yes, he did badmouth the club and it wasn't full of clickbaity bullshit. But it was really interesting. Gave you an insight into certain things. Gave you an insight into the man. And also gave you an insight into what he was trying to do, both in the short term and the long term. He talked about Cardiff City's structure or lack of, and yeah, it was interesting. Check that out. 2 parts, both available on Cardiff City World now. Until I see you tomorrow, well, I'll see you post-match. So I'm going to the game Tuesday night. I'm going to rush home and I'll do a live show straight as soon as I get in, whatever time that is. It'll just be a quick live. I will, of course, be on Dragon Sports. Check out my Dragon Sports preview as well. My Dragon Sports preview is a 5-minute short bang, bang, bang preview. Obviously, this is more of a tactical look and a bit of a deep dive. But and same with the reaction. I'll do an instant reaction from there, a couple of minutes from the stadium. And then we'll have the more detailed reaction live on the channel after the game, as long as it takes me to get home. Anyway, keep the faith, my friends. I am going to do a video on the takeover stuff as well, just to kind of say from my point of view, say what I've heard, say what I know, say what the club is saying, and just kind of put it all into a nice little bow. I don't think it's dead, in terms of, I don't think that's the last we'll hear of it, but it is what it is. As always, I will try and be responsible in what I'm saying and what I'm telling you, but I will also try to be as honest as possible whenever I give an opinion on anything, but particularly something like that. It is what it is. I'm not a clickbaity guy. Take it easy and keep the faith, and I'll see you in a bit. Nice one.
Rascal Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City, ride with me for your Caesar.